Kristin, and I have a get ready with me for you today. So I had some requests. I think I mentioned this actually in the get ready with me as well. I had some requests for the green eye look that I had on in a video a little while back, and I had used the Smoky Nights palette from Estee Lauder. And what I did was that same sort of look, only I had my first play with the Beauty Junkie eyeshadows. And I have to tell you, I didn't say it at the end now that I think about it, but I enjoyed it. I felt like they blended really well. You'll be able to see in the demo that they applied very well. They blended well. I don't think they went muddy on me at all. You can really see the, you know, I did shades that were similar, so it's not like you're going to see some sort of stark difference between the shades, but I really like how they work. Now, this is just, like I said, my first play with them. I have them all in this palette from them. It has Beauty Junkies on the back of it. On the front, it has a ginormous mirror, and comes with a really nice brush as well. So I used these two shades here, and I used these two shades here, and then a couple of these up here. But I will talk about that as I go. So I wanted to do kind of a first impression with that, and also a first impression with these lip products from Real Her. So the liner in I'm Unstoppable, and then the liquid lip, and it says I Will Succeed, but on the bottom it also says Lady Love. So it's this lip combo right here. So yeah, I have really enjoyed tons of Beauty Junkie brushes. As you guys know, I've been using them for a long time. They did send me these products. The Real Her products came in these ones came in a BoxyCharm, I think. But I just, like I said, I wanted to play with them and see how they went. I use a blush from them as well. So I have the blushes in this palette, and a few other of their single shadows here. So if you are interested in me doing a swatch fest of all of the I dropped the brush, of all the brushes and of all the blushes and the eyeshadows, please let me know, because I would be happy to do that. So without any further ado, I will link anything that you need to, anything that I use in the order I use it below, and I think that's it. So if you want to see how I created this look, and then go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I have on my face already. I have the Dior Star Foundation. I'm doing really well here, you guys. Really close to the end. I have the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. For powder, the one I'm currently using up is one from Camp Cosmetics. I have a bunch of these in backup, so I thought I would pull one out. This is the shade in R1. And then I have the bronzer that I'm working through. This is the Burberry Summer Glow. I kind of stick to these three shades, and that's what I'm using right now, as I'm pale as all get out. For brows, I'm using the ColourPop in Dope Taupe. And then already on my eyes, I have the MAC Eye Base. I have Painterly Paint Pot over that, and then I'm currently using up this little Sally Girl eyeshadow in Beige to kind of, smooth everything out before I go ahead and get started. So normally I would do something really warm or brown or bronzy, that sort of thing, because that's just my norm. But I actually think I'm going to use these two shades right here. This light one is called Ripe Olive, and this darker one, drop it in my lap, is called Sonic. And in my crease, we're going to use Brown Canyon, which looks like this. So this is a Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered brush. I'm not using that because I'm using Beauty Junkie shadows. This is just my favorite brush like this ever. Better than the MAC 224, better than whatever the Sigma version of this is. I have something on my face. Little Q-tip, whatever that was, I don't know. And I have to show you guys, so you guys know that I've had shingles twice now. Whenever I get stressed out, it's not that the video is stressing me out, it's other things going on that is stressing me out. Anyway, it kind of like pops up there, and then it'll go away in a few hours. So again, just making sure I have that knocked off a little bit, and I'm just going to throw this, not really throw, place this in my crease. Just really lightly using this. I don't worry so much about it getting up maybe higher than I would like, because I'll blend that out with my brow bone color. I should have shut my door. You can probably hear my washer. Oh, weekend chores. Not sure exactly when I'm putting this up, but I have alluded in a few videos of life just being a little bit crazy right now. Things will calm down, but probably not until midsummer, so but that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and use a MAC 239, which, as you guys know, is my favorite lay down brush, and I'm going to go into that Ripe Olive I showed you before. So pretty. You guys can see how these are applying. This is, hopefully I mentioned it in the intro. First impression. Again, this is not shadows. It's like some sort of fuzzy I have in my... Anyway. So I'm just kind of going about 2/3 or 3/4 of the lid with that shade. And then I do this a lot. I'm just taking this brush with nothing on it and just making sure there's no harsh line. This is very similar to a look I was wearing with the Estee Lauder Smoky Nights palette that people wanted to see, so I thought I would kind of do this first impression, which so far is really good, and a green look all at the same time. I'm going to grab a MAC 217. This is one that I have used. I apparently do not have a clean one, do I? Nope, I do not have a clean one. I need to do my brushes. I need to clean my brushes. Alright, so then I'm going to go into Sonic, which is that darker green color. And as you've seen me do many times before, I'm just kind of stamping, turning, and stamping and blending. And, you know, sometimes I will, I'm going to show you what I did. So I kind of have it there, like I put the brush down in the shadow like that. And I will do that to really help me get that color placed in that outer corner, and turn it again and bring it into the crease. If you feel like you have too much, I always have a towel in my lap. Excuse me. I grab it, you know, wipe it off and blend it out. So pretty. So, so, so pretty. Give a little help here. My eyes just aren't where they once were. Well, my eyes are, but you know what I mean. Ring. Okay, see that I got a little out of control? It'll be fine, don't worry. They have a shade in Vanilla Freeze. I'm just going to test it on my skin to make sure, yep, that it's matte. I'm going to grab, this is a Sigma version, but you guys have seen me do this a bunch of times. And I'm just going to go up on the edge here, clean that up, clean this edge up here. I think I talk about how I clean that up a lot, but I don't think I always show it, so. Switching over to this with no more product, the one that had that dark green, and just make sure that's all nicely blended out. I didn't get as out of control on this eye, apparently. I'm going to deepen up that green a little bit, so I'm going back in with that 217. Sometimes in my blending, I tend to blend away the color. So those really blend nicely. And I want to take, when I want to do some more blending, like I want to make that line there not quite as stark, I really like this brush for that versus the 224, the Pro Tapered Blending or 224 or whatever. This one's a little more precise. I love this brush. I need to get it back up. It's the Pro Blending number 27 from Sephora. And again, I have that Brown Canyon. I'm going to set that down here. And then I'm just mixing in a little bit of this. I'm having a hard time holding on to shadows today. This is the one in Tiki Shed. Anyway, I just kind of went back and forth between the two of those. And I'm going to go right here. Woo. That Tiki Shed was a little more pigmented than I bargained for. It's real life, friends. Real life. This happens to us all, right? So I'm going back to that Vanilla Freeze. Blending that out. You guys need, like, Wet n Wild Brulee is another option for that. This is, you know, as I wanted to stay with the Beauty Junkies shadows here. But I can't tell you enough how important it is to have a shade like this and some kind of brush that you can do some sort of cleanup with. I'm going to squeeze this a little bit. Get right up there. I have a shade called First Snow. I was kind of hoping that they would have a shade that had a little shimmer in it, more like a champagne, and they don't. Excuse me, they don't in any of these. So I'm just going to go with this, and this is an old brush, a Sue Devitt brush, and go right up under my brow. You can see right kind of where I place it in the arch. Just to brighten things up, it lifts things up a little bit. Hopefully you can see. So just lift things up a little bit. This is the Beauty Junkees Pro Pencil brush. I'm taking in that Sonic and going right, taking it in that Sonic, I should say, and apparently getting it in my eyeball, running that beneath my lower lash line, and I'm kind of going, you can see about this far. Trying to add just a little bit at a time here. And I'm wiping that off on the towel and then going back into, gosh, I already forgot what it was called. Ripe Olive. And I'm going to start in the inner corner here and then overlap where I put that so I get a really nice blend. I'm just kind of mirroring what I did on my upper lash line. You could go black or brown with this, whichever you prefer. I'm going to get out my Sigma E21, which is my smudge brush. I don't think Beauty Junkees has one like this. And this is MAC Engraved, which is the black I'm currently working through. And I'm going to just smudge along that lash line. Going about 3/4 of the way in, and then smudge that out. Then I'm going to carry it all the way into the inner corner, but using the color that's on the brush versus laying down color. I just find that it keeps it cleaner throughout the day. And the same thing on the side. I feel like that line got a little out of control on that eye. Alright, I'm going to use that same engraved. This stays all right on your upper waterline, tightline area, but, and there's the washer. Not as well as like the Marc Jacobs or the Sephora Queen of the Nile. I have to tell you, this Sephora Queen of the Nile is doing something to me that my last one did not. It makes my right eye, for some reason, like, get irritated throughout the day. I don't know what the deal is. So I'm looking, I have very little fallout. I have just a little tiny bit right here. Remember that fallout is not always the fault of the shadow. It can be the fault of the applier of the shadow. If you get a little bit too much on, I want to clean up my line down here. Like when I have like random shadow on this line. If I want it to be covered, I'll cover it, and if I don't, I don't. Know what I'm saying? Alright, I'm going to put on some mascara and blush and lips, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the blush that I chose, I decided to, I'll come back with my hair done, I promise. I did put on mascara, I'll talk about that in a minute, but this is their blush in $4.99 Peach Petal. Make sure I get a decent shot of it there for you. And you guys, I cannot hold on to anything today. This is a matte blush. I like to wear peach with a with an olive green. I think it's pretty. So I'm just going to, this is a Chanel blush brush. Use whatever blush brush you have. And I like to smile, so not everybody does. I know that, I think Wayne Goss says you shouldn't, but I do. Then I try to place it high enough, so I'm fine. But anyway, ooh, there's some pigment on that. That's really nice. So I like to kind of, when I'm using this style brush, I just kind of apply it like that and then tip it on its side and blend it out. I've been using this brush for so long, like well over a year, I decided I needed to branch out a little bit. So I just, like I said, I just kind of do it, apply it with the flat side and then turn it on its top or whatever and blend it out. It's really pretty. Okay, so I applied my lips, and as I mentioned in the beginning, I wanted to try the Real Her line, and this is the lip liner in I Am Unstoppable. I did that first, and then I did the liquid lipstick in Lady Love. It also says I Will Succeed on here, so I will show you a little bit of what it looks like right there. And I did that, I applied that first, and then I went and dried my hair so I could kind of get a feel for it. I will tell you this, and I'm not sure if you can see, it is worn a little bit off on the inside of my lips already, and it kind of does what that, I think it was called Bella Pierre that I got in a BoxyCharm box, where you, see what I mean? It doesn't, it's a little bit sticky. So we'll see. I know I could throw a gloss on top of this and be just fine. It's very pretty color. I think it works really well with that blush and this eye look, but, and I didn't have any lip products from Beauty Junkees, obviously. So I don't even think they have lip products. Maybe they're coming out with them. I can't remember now. But at any rate, like I had said in the beginning, I wanted to give these a shot. So let me go ahead and zoom in and give you an up close look at the eye. Okay, so here's the look. So I think the only thing that you don't know when I put it on my face is the mascara that I use, if you're curious. I just started using this not that long ago, and I like it, but it was really dry right off the bat, but I like how it builds volume, and I like the brush on it. This is the Laura Mercier Full Blown mascara, I believe is what it's called. So there's something about the brush I really like. It just takes a little time to build up to how, you know, the lash look that I like. But I think so far it's worth the effort, and it's not flaking on me or anything like that. So all right, that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I will list, like I said, the links and stuff for the Beauty Junkie products, which I believe to be on Amazon. I think it's on their site too, but I always get my stuff from them on Amazon. So anyway, I will list it all below, and I will list the link for the Real Her site below as well. All right, having said all of that, thank you again for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and in everything that you do, be beautiful. Bye.